We should be live. We should be live now. And hi, guys, whoever comes in. Shoot, that's it. So, testing. iPhone. How about that? Hi, guys. Hi, everybody, anybody. Double click to pick the camera source. Should be D. All right. So I'm trying to connect my iPhone right now, and we'll see if that works. Should be. Yep, that's it. So go there. Hi, everyone. All right. So this should be okay this way. Oops. Moops. That's it. All right. Well, while everybody or somebody is tuning in, then I'll just play some guitar to warm up, and then we'll see how everything goes. Yay. Good. That's the fourth microphone. Let's do it this way. Allô? I'm not in tune, but all right. Hi, guys. Oh. Oh, God. All right. I'm just fooling around until I see somebody maybe watching because it's more fun. And I just sent out this invitation over Twitter. Oh, why did we change the scene? I don't want that. This is what I want to be seen. That's right. So I'm back from a couple of gigs, and I was away in the UK, in England, where I was teaching some blues guitar to some wonderful people. So I'm back, and I had a photo shoot, so I need to reconfigure the cameras and lots of stuff for the live streams. But right now, I've had a question from one of my former students, and now a dear friend. So I might answer that a little later on. But first of all, I'd like to test my new microphone. that I just bought, and I think it's going to be replacing this one that I'm using now. So we'll see about that. Okay, I'll fool around with the guitar just a little bit more until somebody comes in. Let me know in the chat if you're watching. It's always good to know. This great lick or song by Reverend Gary Davis. I forgot the name of it, but that's all right. Hi Bertel, nice to see you, and thank you for coming all the way from Gothenburg. Well, actually, you were passing through Malmö, okay? But yeah, exactly. I was just checking this program for the festival in the city of Malmö. And that's us, Maria and me. We played yesterday. It was great. I didn't like the sound though. And I'll have a rant about that, about the sound tomorrow, because it's a very tricky one to deal with. And since I have a question that's very much related to live sound, so I thought, okay, I just go spontaneously, go live and do some stuff, do some testing, and I need to test my new microphone as well. So I'll do all that together. And let me know, Bertel, if the sound was okay when you listened yesterday, or if it wasn't really okay, what were you missing in the sound picture? I know my own opinion because I was on the stage, and of course I cannot hear how we sounded down there. If we maybe recorded with great equipment and put the microphones right in front of the PA, then it would be possible. But this way, no, it wasn't possible. All right, so first of all, the microphone. Earthworks SR314. Usually these cryptic names. SR, I don't know what is it for. I'll show you on the internet. Let's see, it should be there. Yep. So this is the microphone. I just bought it a couple of days ago, and I've used it yesterday to sing through on this live gig, which was great fun. And of course, it's a condenser mic. This is not a dynamic microphone that I usually use to sing through. I usually sing through a Shure SM58 beta, average live microphone, which is industry standard. It's been for ages. Not the beta. Beta came around 10 years ago, I think. But SM58 is an industry standard. You can always rely on it. The only thing is that you really need to come close to it to sing to it. As soon as you move maybe, I don't know, 2-3 inches away, you're going to lose some basses and projection. Okay, let's correct it. I've seen B.B. King singing through that microphone on a ½ meter distance live, and he sounded great. Of course, if you have that kind of voice, you will sound good. But we mortals, we need to come close to that microphone, which is great. But yesterday when I was singing through this microphone, I just felt that, wow, I hear myself from, outside, just, the volume of, okay, how much do I hear myself? It was only slightly more of the volume if I was singing close to the microphone, and then I had it this far away from the mouth, sometimes even more than that, and I didn't notice too much of a difference. A little bit, slightly maybe because I'm thinking, oh, it should be lower volume, right? But then I've seen a review of this microphone online, and one of the very good, well, I'm not calling him a friend. We never met, right? We had contact online. Curtis Judd had a great review of this microphone, and he was using it as a boom microphone. What I mean with the boom, I'll show you right now. These two microphones are above me, right? So don't get dizzy now. So this is my place where I usually stand. This is my marker on the floor, and what I'm seeing is the camera, that camera over there. Let's see, that camera, right? That's my main camera, and then my two other cameras that I use for live streaming. This one here is for my left hand, for the fretting hand, and this one down here, which I'll be putting a camera back on also during this live stream. It's all behind the scenes. So that's where the my picking camera is showing, right? So, and above me, you see the light over there, that's coming on my face. And this here is the Earthworks SR314, and this is the microphone that I'm using now. It's a SM7 MV7, sorry, SM, no, it's a Shure MV7. It's a both USB and XLR microphone. You see Philip, my mascot here. So this is both XLR and USB microphone. It's extremely versatile. It's great, I love it. But that microphone is intended to be used with close proximity, which means you need to be close to it, almost talking into it. Right now, I'm using it with lots of input gain, which means that on my mixer, which I have now in, here we go, Rodecaster Pro. All right, don't get dizzy now. Close your eyes because I'm gonna be moving fast here. So, now you see perfectly what I'm doing. So if I click, all right, I'll need to take another microphone in a second. So now you should be hearing me quite okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. So the first microphone is my main microphone. It says here SM7B, but it's not on the display, but I'm using the settings in the Rodecaster Pro that are for the SM7B. But if we just use those settings, they are around, I don't know, 40 something decibel of input gain, which is enough when you talk into it and closer. And maybe I can demonstrate. So if I do like this, I come quite close to it. So this is when I'm talking into it so close as it was intended to be. But for that use, I have too much gain right now because this gain of 70 dB is set so that I can be at around 30 centimeters away, maybe 25, 30 centimeters away, and talking to the camera, right? So I'm talking into the camera like this. So, and that microphone, as soon as I move a little bit backwards, it's losing me, right? So I'm talking from, let's say, 1 meter away, maybe not that, but okay. Now I'm back on the marker. So this is where I usually stand and talk, and the microphone is turned just a little bit in front of my mouth. Let me see, okay, this is perfect. So if I start talking into 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I start talking and looking down on my guitar when I'm playing, you're gonna lose me now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not that audible. The best volume is up here somewhere, or if I would talk right into the microphone. And that's something I'd like to change with this new microphone, which is gonna be kind of, it's very directional. It's going like this, right? But it's not totally rejecting the sound that comes a little bit from the sides as well. And I've seen that in Curtis Judd's review when he was using it as a boom mic. So it was outside the frame, as these two are, and it just sounded great on his voice. So let's see if it sounds good on mine. My voice actually today is a bit different than usual because I've done, 2 sets of singing yesterday, a lot of talking, and, I'm a little hoarse in my voice. So, yeah, but we'll see. So now I'm going to be engaging, turning off this main microphone, and I'll use the new one. So Earthworks SR314 coming up. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I know you're not really hearing me. Give me a second. Now I'm talking to other microphones that are underneath. I'll turn those off, and I will then slowly increase the gain on this microphone. Okay. Right. So you see that the gain now on that microphone, which is above my head, is at 25 dB, which is definitely not enough. But let's increase that. Now I'm turning off these 2 microphones, and it's only going to be the Earthworks. So let's try with a 40 decibel of input gain. And now you tell me how that sounds. In my ears, it's a little bit less volume on this one compared to the other one, but okay, I haven't even positioned it right, so I'll do it this way. Now it's pointing just a little bit in front of my mouth. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I'll increase, no, I'll take the MV7, my usual microphone, which is dynamic. For the record, the Earthworks, the new one is condenser mic, which means it needs phantom power. Oops, we lost the camera source. Okay, we'll go back to it and see if it connects again. Yes, it does. All right, so I've increased the input gain to 46, and I hear it much better now. So let's compare to the other one, the old one. Now I'm talking to my old microphone, which can sound a bit bassier and all that because I'm using the settings that I've tailored for this microphone. There's a little bit of compression or something like that, but on the Earthworks, on the new microphone, I don't have any. It's just the condenser microphone original settings that are in the mixer. So I'll tinker with that just a little bit now. All right, so now I'm back on the Earthworks. So let me see about the settings. And that, okay, at the same time while I'm explaining this, I'll show you guys how the processing is done in this microphone. So it's condenser mic, 46. Should I fool around with that now, or I just do the presets? Right. So this is the preset for the neutral settings for this microphone. I don't know any values for this, but it's just like that. So the difference, the Earthworks gets me from there. It also gets me from a little bit from the side. Let's switch the angle. Right, so I'm talking right in front of the camera and the microphone is right in front of me and above. So if I move a little bit like this, I'm still getting quite a good here somewhere. It's losing me a little bit. So it's got around 30 centimeters of radius where I can talk and move my head, come forward, go a little bit backwards. Somewhere here, it's losing me. And I know that because I'm having my my earphones and I'm really hearing quite in detail what's happening here. Right. And compared to the other one, so this is the original setting. Uh, if I move this to the right, it's losing me here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Well, it's actually quite similar where it still grabs me, maybe even more on this one. Well, I'm surprised by that. So I'll go backwards and it's, I hear it, but there's also maybe a reason for that, that I have 71 dB of gain on the old Shure NV7. On Earthworks, I have 41. Maybe I could increase that a little bit and get some more coverage on the sides. Let's try that. So now Earthworks, it's on 46. Sorry, I was wrong. Let's increase that to 50 and see what happens. All right, now I'm on 50. Whoa. It's quite an increase from 46 to 50. But all right, so let's go a little bit to the side. It's still grabbing me, it's still grabbing me. Oh, it's got more. It grabs me from a wider area than the MV7. Okay, so that's that. But I'll decrease a little bit the input gain. I think it's too harsh. I don't know. I put it to 46 now. All right. Let's tinker with the settings again. So this was a podcast, the neutral setting. Now the podcast studio. So this is the podcast studio setting. And now I'll change it to broadcast, which usually gives more bass and more kind of down-to-earth, real podcast sound, which I don't have the voice for, but let's see. So now I'm on the broadcast. Oh, broadcast settings. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I mean, I hear the increase of the volume when I'm talking into the microphone, but it should be working on in this position. Maybe there'll be some tinkering with it, maybe just to put it a bit more angled in front of my mouth so that it grabs both the voice and the air coming out more naturally. That's what I've seen the big guys do. So yeah, that would be the Earthworks SR314 on these 3 presets. Now I'll engage the preset that I have on my MV7. That's my usual microphone. And that's called Mike Russell setting, which includes some gating, some compression, de-esser, and some other stuff. Now there's this modified Mike Russell setting. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's it. Give me a second. I think I'll just include my own camera picture so that you can see what I'm doing as well. See me doing it, I mean. Hi guys. So this setting over here is a modified Mike Russell setting. And another modified setting that I can, switch between. And I don't know, this in my earphones sounds the best of them all. And I'll go back to the broadcast and see how that compares. So now I'm on broadcast, just generic setting that's in the Rodecaster Pro. And I don't really know. It sounds okay, it's nice. And I have another thing to test, which is like when I lower my head like this to talk about the guitars maybe, and while I'm showing stuff in the live stream, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I'm looking down and how much of the volume I'm losing on this microphone. Now, Mike Russell modified 2. Let's see if I lower the head now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, we'll go back to the broadcast setting. And now I'll do the same thing with the old microphone. This is Earthworks. And this is my old microphone. And I'm looking down and I'm looking down and okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, going back to normal angle like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you believe me that I'll be listening to this afterwards. Not for the joy of watching myself, it's for the joy of listening with really good studio headphones and compare the two sounds. Because sometimes a very little increase or decrease of the input gain can affect the sound tremendously. It's like, what? I just raised it for like with 2 decibels and wow, it sounds great. So right now, compared to what's still in my ears of the Earthworks, I think that I might need the little bit more gain on that microphone to be compared with this one. This is also MV7. So let's go to that one. So now I'm Earthworks again, and I will increase the input gain while I'm having this just average broadcast setting, right? So we're going to 50 dB of gain. And I think volume-wise, I think we're even with the old microphone. Now, how it sounds, it's another thing. And if I now try to do the same test, I'm going down, looking lower, looking lower, looking lower. The crazy thing is that I hear more of my room sound. The room sound is what you hear besides this audio that's coming directly from my mouth into the microphone. So this condenser microphone is picking up more of the environment where I am. The MV7, my old microphone, is dynamic microphone, which means it will grab only the things which are in a close proximity to it, but then it will reject the sound of the room. And there's this nice balance that I need to find in between those two, and I just don't know. I'll have to test it more. But I think I'm quite done with just testing the new microphone. I have a lot to go back to and to listen to later on. Now I'd like to reply to a question from one of my former students, somebody who has become a musician afterwards, really performing musician, just like myself and many other colleagues. So that was amazing to see. But he had this question about preamps for his acoustic guitars. So if I could recommend any preamp. And I know that I've demonstrated a couple of, my own setup with my preamp and my effect processor and lots of other things in my previous live streams. And I will send those links to him. But right now, it would be a great moment to try to do the preamp. And let me change the camera. So I'll be, now I'm using both microphones, both the Earthworks and my Octava microphones that are usually used for the, let me show you. So these two guys, my beloved Octava microphones that are a matched pair of microphones that I love very much, and they are always used for my guitar sound when I'm doing live streams, and I use it when recording as well. They are production beasts. They're wonderful. They're quiet. I love every bit of it. So these two microphones, now only one of those is active because I need another channel on, on my mixer to accommodate the new microphone and this preamp that I'm going to be showing you. So let's go to the preamp. Let me see. Bend you camera. So let me see if we do it this way. So it's a bit, no, don't touch that. So let's do it this way. Just move the microphone, the camera, I mean, which is my iPhone now. So in this little thing, you see there are two different things. This lower part is actually a DI, direct inject box. So you could use this preamp just as a DI box. So you would just go with your guitar into this and then out here, and you will get a right impedance for any mixer that you don't have to use a DI box that maybe a PA people have. And let's demonstrate that. I'll grab my guitar and I'll plug in. So now I'm going right into this, and what you see now is that this light is on, and it means that it's got power, but it's not the phantom power from the mixer. We'll try to engage that now. And now you cannot see the mixer because I have my camera on the preamp itself. But on the mixer, what I'm doing here is I'm going to be using the line in signal, and let's see how that works. No, it's not coming through the maybe the instrument. Right. If I say that it's a dynamic microphone. Ooh. A lot of hum. It wasn't intended to be used with a microphone. Line in or instrument. Okay, then I think I'll go the traditional way. And I'll connect my guitar into the input here. And now we'll see what happens, because there's this very specific thing about it. You can go into the preamp section, and although my input is from the right, the sound is actually being tailored from the left.
you have the level of that effect, or I mean the input gain from my guitar. Then you have this blend, which is actually a little compressor. Wonderful sounding compressor. I love the sound of that compression. It's very warm. I keep it somewhere in the middle or at maybe 1 o'clock. So let's put it there. Treble, a little roll off on the middle frequencies, around 750 hertz, which is this higher middles. I like to kind of shave off that kind of attack on the sound. And then the bass, depending on which equipment I'm using. If I'm just going to the PA, I'll be very careful with that, because if you have a lot of bass on your preamp, then the people in the PA, on the PA, need to decrease that bass, and it will just remove the bass from your complete sound. So it's better that you give them kind of neutral sound out and then use it this way. So let's see. I'm going in 0 decibel. Now we need to. Nope, we're not going to do that. So the intended use for this little preamp is that you put your guitar into the input, and then there is this little output jack that you connect like this, and then on the other end you connect that to the input to XLR. So which means that you just looped your preamp sound, so it goes first here, gets affected by all the controls on the way here, then that sound goes out, goes into the XLR, enters the DI box, and then it goes out. For that, it either needs phantom power from the mixing board, or the amplifier that you're using that has phantom power, or you just use the built-in battery, not the built-in battery that you put in, right? So this is active now, and let's see what happens in the on the mixer side, because there are several settings that you can use. Just go a little bit closer, just a little closer walk with thee, yes baby. Right, so instrument. I have everything on. It should be working. The stupid thing is that this just worked perfectly in my live streams, and now all of a sudden I just can't get the sound out of this. What you hear now is my guitar through a microphone, so it's not going through the line input. Let's see again. The level here is 0. Nope. I turn it off. It's not coming through. Let's see. Line in an instrument. Line in an instrument on the Rodecaster Pro don't have phantom power. So that means I think I'll have to use this as a dynamic microphone and then give it phantom power. Let's try that. So I'll go to the settings and I just go to dynamic microphone, which is 45. Phantom power on. Let's see if I'm getting any. Oh. Damn. This is not good. I'll disengage the phantom power because it should actually give me the sound. Nope. Let's see if there's any other setting here. pod mic. Nope, it's just giving me lots of noise. Just giving me lots of noise. And that's channel 2. Oh, I am terribly sorry. I've made a mistake. That cable should not be in the channel. Oh, give me a break. Give me a second. Of course it's not working. I am a very stupid guy. So I've just muted that channel, and I'll see what's going to be happening here. So a lot of gain. Let's go down to okay. So let's do it this way. Now we're talking. Good. So, neutral setting for this channel. All other mics are muted. So my voice is coming through Earthworks, and this is the guitar lined in to the mixer, and I'm this. Oh, that's it. Now we're back on track. Good. Sorry about this. If you're watching the replay, those 10 minutes before this are rubbish because I just didn't realize I had a wrong cable connected in. I should be a pro. Oh, forget about that. So, the difference. This is a sound coming from my guitar right into the mixer board. This sounds great because it's a great pickup. It's an active pickup. It's got a battery. So it's already giving me a very good output volume from the pickup itself. So when I gain it in the Rodecaster Pro right here, it's just really nice, no problem. But listen what happens when I add the preamp. And now I just won't touch anything here. I'll move the camera to the preamp and let's fool around with the settings. Over there. Let's get a little bit more closer so you can see what I'm doing. Cool. So this is a sound without the preamp, and now let me guess. A little bit less compression. Level there somewhere. We'll keep the middles there. And now the sound with the preamp. Now without. Decrease in volume because I'll need to. So let's see now. Compared to just the guitar sound. Now with. I hear a bit more of a bass, of course. It's giving you this kind of little more processed and compressed sound, and the reason is this compressor here. So let's increase that a little bit to 3 o'clock, and you'll see the effect that it's having. Now without. Now same lick with. This shows that the compressor is lifting the lower volume of what you're playing, which means the basic sound is a bit increased. It's like I'm barely picking my strings. I'm just having my thumb just roll down, brush it a little bit. If I do the same without the preamp, and listen now to the volume that increases. Now, I put it on, right? For this only, this would be worth the price. Another great thing with this particular preamp is, if you have problems with some frequencies, here's how you deal with it without having to buy something that has a notch filter. And a notch filter is something that's either automatic in your preamp, especially and most usually by those that are on a professional level that cost maybe, I don't know, $600 and up. And in this list that I found online, I'll be showing you that in a minute, there's an preamp that costs like $1,200, which I would never, ever in my poor little life pay for a preamp. But of course, your mileage may vary. So let me show you it's called sweep bar middle frequencies, which means you have the frequency here, and then the gain of that frequency. So if I would increase you see, it's adding me some noise directly. But this is how it would sound if I increase this frequency of 750 hertz, which you see over there, right? So if I put it away totally, it sounds like this. So what I know is that if I have in a neutral position, that's where this frequency is with us, right? Let's increase just a little bit more. I just don't like it, and it's kind of distorting the sound, and this is usually the problematic frequency with this particular pickup, and especially when I'm playing loud. I play quite loud when I play live, and either through my amplifier or through my own PA system, and when you increase the volume of your overall sound and you have too much of these middle frequencies, the sound can be too punchy. It's kind of too aggressive for my taste. Many people like that. And I mean, you know, electric guitar players, everything in the electric guitar sound is mid frequencies and how you treat those. All overdrive pedals, distortion pedals, fuzzes and everything, they deal with middles and trebles, and sometimes they even have a bass frequency knob that you can add some more kind of depth to a sound. But let me show you. This is how I usually have my sound live. This is a nice mid-range that is quite warm in my opinion. This is a very dry sound, no effects, no reverb, nothing. If I'd added maybe little bit of a reverb here, that sound would just start living much better and all that. But I wanted you to hear this very, very basic preamp sound. So one more time, without. Now with. You can also hear that the trebles are a bit lower than in the setting without the preamp. That's natural, of course, and when I'm engaging the compressor here, that's also taking away some of the trebles and even taking away some of the volume. That's why all high-end compressors also have a gain or a knob that kind of substitutes for the lost gain and the volume when you engage the compressor. So yeah, this doesn't need that, because all I need is to increase a little bit on the volume here, and it's fine. Oh, I just realized my iPhone has locked the on that picture. I'll have to reconnect, go back, clicking, that's it. Huh, how long back was this happened that you couldn't see what I was showing? But anyway, okay, I'll do it again. So this is the frequency, 750 hertz, that I usually kind of decrease just a little bit. Between 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, depending on the PA system and everything that I'm using, that's it. This knob here is a little compressor. If you just disengage it totally, this is how it sounds. Compared to the sound without the preamp, quite similar to that, right? Not really good. So I actually increase this and have it around 1 o'clock, usually when I play live. Or if I'm gonna play some delicate finger picking, delicate is a strong word in my case. I'm not much of a real finger picker, but as soon as you play a little bit softer, like this is too much for that. I think even for that it's too much. So I'd keep it there around 2 o'clock. Better. Yeah. That would be it. We tested the microphone, we tested the preamp, and now it's only left for me to show you this on internet, that I found some preamps, tips about that. And I have, opinions about preamps. Sometimes I'm a little bit harsh on them, because I think sometimes they're just, taking your money for basically nothing. A lot of things when it comes to live sound. Okay, I can take away that light. So it's better. I had to have that light on to put some light on the microphones when I was showing them. So, preamps, right? Sometimes they're necessary. Depends on what you have in the rest of your chain. The most important part is that you have a good pickup. I'm deliberately not saying a good guitar, because a good pickup will really give some great life to any guitar that you install it in. I'm an advocate of magnetic sound hole pickups, period. Got nothing against under-saddle pickups. K&K has some great transducers that are contact microphones, or I don't know how they're called, but transducers that you put underneath your guitar top. And if you don't play too loud, if you don't play through big PA systems, Depends. Okay, I'm not going to go into that more in detail, but I love the sound of magnetic pickups. That's it. So, internet. This is the sound of my stand-up desk. Sorry about that, but I need to reach my mouse while I'm showing you this. Oh, sorry, I just realized this is not really good when it's so transparent. Oh, so Mac is back. So now I guess you're seeing me now. Yeah, well, anyway, this is the microphone, and I just searched on internet for the best preamps for acoustic guitars, acoustic electric guitars, and I found these. I know that my colleague Brian Kramer is using this one, LR Bags Venue DI. That one is down there, right? And this is directed to the LR Bags homepage, I guess. Or no, it's just the product page on Sweetwater. By the way, lots of friends I have from the US are buying lots of stuff from Sweetwater. They like it. It's a good website to get stuff. So you see these controls that are on this preamp. You have bass, low mid, high mid. One thing that's different between my my preamp and this one is that these two frequency, but see low mid and high mid, they are kind of locked into certain range of hertz, which means the lower mids could go from let's say 200 250 hertz and up to maybe 500 hertz something, and the higher mids are somewhere between maybe 500 to maybe even 1 kilohertz, and that's where the trebles really start. So this, I'm not sure, I don't know really how much, but that's how this is, the concept of this preamp is to do that. Presence is another form of trebles. It's more sparkly. It's good to have, why not? Trebles, great, and the volume for that. And then you have a notch filter, which can be tuned a little bit, but it's most usually too much work for most people. You need to be a real pro and understand some, not even basics, some quite fundamental things about frequencies and which frequency you have on your guitar, which one you need to avoid sometimes and all that. So if you know about those things, then this would be a great preamp. But anyway, let's just go back to this one. So you have LR Bags, Grace Design Felix. You see these prices. This is $329. I know that my preamp, Sans Amp Acoustic DI, I'll show it to you on the next page, is less than $200, I think. So now the Grace Design Felix 2. This is a you know, something people are just swearing at. They think it's fantastic. No, it's a wrong expression, not swearing at. They're swearing by this preamp. They think it's fantastic. It's easy to tailor your sound in detail, but we really need to know what we're doing here. And for that money, of course. Very much money. This is a $279 preamp by LR Bags again. Which is nice, of course. It's got volume, the gain, which means gain is usually what's getting into the preamp from your guitar, and then the volume is connected to the out, right? And then you got notch filter, which means that if you're getting feedback for some reason and you just hear that, oh shit, this is not good, all you need to do is to turn this knob, the notch filter, and let it work with a problematic frequency. I'm not sure how well it works. I've never used it, but that's intended to be used like that. Saturate, I don't really know what's it doing. Compressor, equalizer, that's a bit of compression to your overall sound coming out. So you're getting this in a more compact thing unit than the previous one, but this cost $279, and the first one that we saw cost $329. So basically, for $50 more, you're getting much more for your buck, because this has got more controls. It's got a tuner. It's got two switches that you can engage some sort of things. Yeah, I would go for this one. If you want to buy it, then this would be the better solution. Then what else do we have? Fishman Platinum Pro EQ. This is also, I could also call it industry standard, and a lot of musician colleagues of mine are using this, but I think 99% of them, those I talk to, are using this with under saddle pickups. So it might be great for that. There is another Fishman preamp that's including some emulations of sounds of different microphones, which means you get a processed sound that would sound like when you put a certain type of microphone in front of your guitar and play that live. I've heard some people live that were using this and it sounded really good. But one of the main reasons I'm not using undersaddle pickups is because I'm playing slide more than a half of my gigs, and I just couldn't get the good slide sound out of just a undersaddle pickup. No, magnetic is the way to go. For me, I'm saying it again. So controls, volume, tune mode, tune reference, I don't know the details about it, but okay, it's got compressor, it's got brilliance, which can be compared to presence on the other one that I've shown you. Treble, middle, bass, and let's see what's about the middle. Oh, this is good. So it's got the frequency, just like on mine, on my Sense amp, but it just doesn't show which frequency it is. But usually it would be between 250 and 3 kilohertz. So this knob here would be frequency between those frequencies, and the middle, that's basically the volume of that. So this would be the volume of the frequency that you choose, which you can both increase and decrease, which is okay. Phase is a phase switcher. It's a polarity of the preamp, and that's what my Sense amp also has. So if you get noise, if you get some rumbling sound, something's not really sounding well, you can always try with just changing the phase. And the notch filter is in or out, which means you can choose to have it on or not. And at the same time, when you engage it, you still have the knob to work with it. One good thing is this little thing here, which is a boost, usually just a volume boost, but great if you play with somebody else. You need to increase your volume when you play solos. That's right. Or if you just want to play more delicately, that you don't pick too hard, then you can just increase the volume for that. That's also a good solution. And there is this setting that it's intended to be used with bass as well. Cool. Not so bad. Not so bad. Sorry. What is it? Grace Design Alex still. No matter how good it is, I think it's just too expensive. I mean, $700-800. Damn, you can buy yourself a great sounding guitar for that money. Never in my life. Let's see what this is. Bix. This is cool. I'm surfing the internet together with you guys. It's cool. It's got gain, low, high, and the boost. Boost, mute. Very simple. Preamp. What's on the back? It's got insert, send, insert, return, which means you can send this signal into something else, maybe effect processor or something, and then bring it back into the preamp and then send it out. And it's got this out jack, which is just a regular guitar jack, right? Tele jack, like this one here, right? Yeah. So that's one intention of use, and the other one is the DI out, which means you're sending a balanced signal to the rest of the system, to the PA. So usually when you play on stage, on the big PA systems, they usually have a stage box where you just have lots of inputs where all the microphones on the scene are connected to. But if you want to plug in your guitar, some of those have a combo jack, which means you can plug in the tele, just a guitar jack, but it won't give you the right impedance. So if you use a preamp of this kind or a DI box, which is only a DI box, which just converts your signal to something that's suitable to be connected to with a microphone cable, and it's balanced and it goes into the PA system, and it gets recognized as a microphone, which gives it a better signal. It's low impedance signal, and the guitar is sending out the high impedance signal. Now the question with these two is if the output jack and the DI out can be used together. For that price, I think they do that. But on some preamps, you need to choose. It's either going to be the DI out or just regular output. So, and the reason why they have this out is if you, let's say, use this preamp to tailor your guitar sound, and then you go into an amplifier on the scene, which can then be maybe aligned out to the PA or just used standalone for that sound. Good. Radial, PZ, Radial, damn, I mean, Radial, their stuff is great. I've been using their DI boxes on stages all around Europe, and they're just amazing. So this could be something still not worth the money for me. Still not worth the money, I'm sorry. And for most people, this is too many knobs. People don't have the energy, and sometimes people buy expensive stuff like this and just leave everything in the middle and just use it, and that's it. I've seen it. So let's turn that off, and then we're coming to the Fishman Tone DEQ. Let's see what they've got. Okay, that's another Fishman preamp, but it's got where's the volume? Volume there. Okay, so the volume knob, and then we got the compressor, and then you can choose between chorus 1 setting, chorus 2, flanger, or tremolo. These two knobs underneath are for the tailoring of these effects above. So this and then these. It's, let's say, when it comes to tremolo, especially tremolo, then the rate would decide on how fast the tremolo is going. A tremolo is like this, whoa, 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 right? And the lower rate means it's going to go slower, and the faster rate is going to be something like that. The level is just deciding on the level of that effect. So this is good actually, because that way you can just add a little bit of chorus, a little bit of a tremolo or flanger effect. Right? Reverb. This is also good. Delay, reverb, 2 delays, 2 reverbs, and the possibility to tailor them. Okay, so if you don't have an effect unit of any kind, then this could be something that's worth the money, because you're getting 2 things in one. You're getting, yeah, exactly. You're getting a preamp, and you're getting several of the effects, but you're only going to be able to use one at a time of these, and that's a big difference compared to, let's say, the stuff that I'm using, where I can choose as many effects as I want. Okay, with reservation for error here, but basically, if I just go and show you, not that one, here, I just was unpacking from a gig last night. So this is not a preamp. This is an effect processor. But since it's got some gain options inside, that means also that I can increase the volume of my guitar signal coming in, and there's an equalizer effect which I can tailor the sound with if I want to, and this sounds really, really good. I've demonstrated this in one of my live streams with that it has 4 knobs. Doesn't mean it only has 4 effects. It's got 2 modes. One mode is a manual mode where you can assign effects to each of these knobs and then engage them, disengage them. It's called tap dancing, like if you've had 4 pedals and you just use them and turn them on and off. The other mode, which I most usually use, is that every of these knobs is one of the presets within one of the banks. So one bank has 4 of these, and each one of these can be tailored, and you can use many effects. You can use 2, 3 reverbs, and you can use both, let's say, a reverb, flanger, chorus, tremolo, whatever, vibrato. You can use them all in this little unit. This costs around, I think, $500, and I think this is worth it. This is worth it. And then there's also another unit that I have, and I show you there. It's this one, the Plethora X5 that I've shown in several of my live streams, and I've even demonstrated how it works, which means that those banks of effects, you have 5 different effects that you can have all together. But if you change those, you can, sometimes you will have like 3 or 4 delays on the same bank, which means you can, let's say, use one kind of delay for the beginning of a song, another kind of delay while you're playing solo, and the third delay when you're doing something else. It's much more versatile. It costs also around $550 maybe, and those 2 units are really worth every single penny. So if you're, now I'm talking to my friend Dak, who is wondering about this with a preamp. If you just want to buy a preamp, that would be great, but then I would go for either a combination of preamp and some effects, or if you already have an effect unit of any kind, then just go for a very simple preamp. You can get some great stuff between $100 and $150, maybe $200, and all you need is a little bit of increase of the volume and maybe equalizer controls of some kind. So I would, of course, since I've been using this Sense amp for many years. So, nope. Where are we now? Sorry. I went crazy here in my live streaming software. Sorry about that. Here. So this is the original preamp that I've got. This is the version 1 that I've had for, I think now, more than 20 years, definitely. Never broke down on me, always worked flawlessly, wonderful controls, I love it. But the new version looks like this. Paradriver DI. It's got some more functions, some added functionality, but what I love is that they didn't ditch the middle frequencies. This is this knob and this knob here. This is the blend. It's also the same blend compressor that I have on my original Gangster. And you got the level and the drive. That's something new. That's what my old preamp doesn't have. I don't really know what this drive button does, but maybe if you just have a compressor engaged, maybe the drive increase would compensate for the loss of volume on that. Maybe, I'm not sure. Output, parallel output. So you go with your guitar into this one, and then you go through it, that goes out. Parallel output. I think it's the same as on my old one. And then you go to the XLR and you just can connect that to the stage box, right? And actually, just one more thing, which is kind of interesting. I sometimes used since let's say the PA system was really good enough for my voice, so I didn't have to use my acoustic AC90 Roland amplifier that I usually use. It's old, it's not in production anymore, but I still have it. So that amplifier it's an dedicated acoustic amplifier, very resemblant of the JC Jazz Chorus 120. Same controls, I guess same circuits that they've been using for ages. Very clean sound. I just love it. Most of the time when I play smaller gigs or let's say big festivals, I can always use that amplifier as my monitor because the master volume is independent from the channel volume knobs, and I can have that on the stage just turn towards me, and I can both sing and play my guitar through it. So my singing goes through to the XLR input of the amplifier, and my guitar would go through my preamp and my effect units and everything, and then with just a regular tele guitar jack into that. That works great, but sometimes when the PA system, let's say on a maybe bigger festival, had some really great sound, then I could get some extra, I don't know, dimension of the sound when I use my Sense amp with this effects units in between, and then the XLR out into the XLR microphone input on the acoustic amplifier. And that sound is absolutely the best, right? But most of the time I need to use my amp for both voice and the guitar, because in most of the cases, I'm not sure who's behind the wheels up there in front of the house, and I don't know how they hear me and how they think my voice should sound. So I just tailor my whole complete sound in my amplifier. And that leads me to the conclusion of this nice live stream. Nice for me because it was so cool. Because tomorrow's live stream, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., my Central Eastern European time. And then not Central Eastern, Central European time, Standard Time. 9 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern in the US, and 12 p.m. lunchtime Pacific. So I'm going to be actually talking about this with live sound and what I thought about my live sound yesterday. And I'll even have some footage to play for you guys, because a friend just recorded a couple of songs on his mobile phone. So maybe that will reflect what I'm talking about tomorrow. But I want to talk about specifically this with how much can you affect your own sound prior to going live on stage and prior to somebody else deciding on if your sound good or bad or something. Because if I give them a really good source from my amplifier, and that goes with 2 XLRs balanced into their stage box, there's not too much they can do. They cannot affect the balance between my guitar and my voice, which is usually the biggest problem when I play live and somebody else is doing my sound. They usually put the voice way ahead and then the guitar is way in the back. And that's not the way I want it. So more about that tomorrow. Right. That I was telling you all this with the screen on. I wanted to talk into the camera like this. So I won't be repeating all this. So tomorrow it's going to be about that. It's going to be about originality when you play blues. Now, I'm not talking about singing and songwriting and stuff like that. I'm just talking about if you play blues, these traditional styles, even if you want to play some original rockabilly stuff or original rock and roll stuff, and then do your versions of that. How faithful to the original way of playing, sounding, doing stuff, how much of a replica of the original sound we want to be, we should be, or shouldn't be. So I have some great stuff to talk about when it comes to that subject tomorrow as well. And then I'll do some, just what I've been doing this summer. So I hope you guys maybe have the time to come and visit. See you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Off to finishing the live stream. Have a great one. Bye.